Hi guys, how you doing? It's Ian here, back with a much anticipated podcast. I have to apologise first of all for the hair. I didn't manage to do anything with it after I've washed it this morning. So as you can see, it's very fluffy and all over the place. But as you can see, I am shaved. So no moaning. I am now clean and shaven for. Right, first things first. Hope everyone's good. How am I? Okay, today's our day, so it's the 17th, Tuesday 17th. Week before Christmas Eve. I've had a day of a lot of smoking, a lot of oral and a lot of naps. I don't know if I look tired or anything. But anyway. So not a good day, and it's kind of affected my mentality and my mental health. The knock-on effect of that, the knock-on effect being that I'm feeling very anxious about holidays next year. As you know, we're going away twice, so we're going to Edinburgh and we're going to Blackpool. I am scared that I'm going to have a day like today where I physically cannot do anything. Even if I had my chair today, I physically wouldn't be able to do anything. I am so fatigued. I'm just so tired. Every time I move, it hurts. It's not a good day. And my kind of head is saying, my God, you're spending all, and it's not about the money, but it is, if this makes any sense. It's not about the money anyway, because we're going away, and I will pay. If I have to pay £500 to lie in a hotel room, then I will. But I want to be able to be going out and enjoying myself and going out and partying with Kat and Johnny when we go to Blackpool. I want Kat to be able to show me around Edinburgh and get a bit of culture and get about. And we want to go to like a museum. We want to eat nice food. But I'm very, very aware that my MS is becoming worse. The episodes are becoming harder. And that's what worries me, if I'm honest, guys. Coming back to the money, it's a lot of money to spend to go away. If you're just going to be so unwell, you can't enjoy it. What's Kat gonna do? She's not gonna go off gallivanting around Edinburgh on her own, is she? She's just gonna stay with me. She's that kind of girl. It's hard. But that's just the negative spin I've got on things. The positive being the holiday, but then you got the negative spin. What am I going to do if I've got a fatigue day? What do I do if I've got a pain day? What's going to happen? What's going to be the effect? Am I still good? We've got to find my leg brace for my left leg, because I physically can't move it, and when I do move it, it's agony. So it needs to be set. So I'm hoping that once I've got my leg brace found and we get my power chair next year. And hopefully that will work. That will alleviate the pain from my leg, but then I've still got my MS. So it kind of like comes from both sides. It's like you're kind of combat one, but then you've got the other side coming onto you. And it's very hard, as you well know, to defend two fronts. But that's what I've got to do. I think about it. It's 5 days away. If I'm in agony, I'll screw and bear it. Simple as that. I won't let Kat see it in Edinburgh, and I won't let Kat and Joy see it in Blackpool. I'll be smiles and smiles, but Kat knows me better than anyone else in the entire world, and she'll know when I'm having a bad day, or she knows I'm struggling. And she usually is the one that then I'll say, "Oh right, come on, let's go and chill out and go and have a drink," so I can go and take 5 minutes from. Because it does overwhelm me with my BPD and my bipolar. Big crowds. I used to love them. When I was younger, which I'm going to talk about later. When I was in my prime, it was I was partying all the time, and now I feel I still want to do that when I go away. I want to go on a holiday, and I want to go out and enjoy myself, be able to go out and have some nice drinks and have some nice food, and to enjoy ourselves. I want to be able to go to Blackpool with guys and Cat and John, sorry, and say, right, look, this is where I spent most weekends. This is, this place is really special to me. We've got to go here, we've got to go there, and then we've got to do the back streets. I want to show them the real Blackpool, where it's, where people really are all about the proper Lancastrians, Um, yeah, so of course I kind of worry, is it going to be too much? But what do we do? Um, so anyway, so that's kind of what's going on mentally and stuff. Today, what I decided to talk about was something I needed addressing actually, which was time if time after the army. Uh, so I'll just go until it comes to some. I've got a rough idea of where I'm going. Stuff I want to point out and say. It's important that people know, not about me specifically, but about what I'm going to tell you, and you'll go, "My God, right? Okay, maybe I'm in that trap." Okay, so I got out of the army at 25. Um, I was already married at that time to Emma, as probably mentioned. We had a child, Josh. I came out of the army, and after about 6 months, marriage fell apart. Um, I spent some time in an institution, uh, Edith Morgan in Torquay, mental health. It's now the HATOR unit, in a secure unit. Um, and my ex-wife Emma, or my wife at the time, came in with a new bloke to tell me it was over. So yeah, I lost my shit a bit there, as you can imagine. I think I was fortunate that I was sectioned anyway, because I actually did hurt the guy quite horrifically. Um, but that's because I'm going to try and explain the person that I became after Emma. Um, After Emma, all I wanted to do was restart my life again. The thing with BPDs is that you tend to fall into relationships very quickly after you attach yourself to another person very quickly after a failed relationship, or even during a failing relationship, which we'll come on to. Um, so after Emma, we were still going through the divorce and everything, and I started seeing Kelly, who became my second wife. Now that I was working hard, I was chefing. Um, I was working hard. I was working in a Michelin star restaurant. I'd been away to London and worked. I'd been abroad and worked in Spain. In a five-star hotel. I'd done all that. I'd done all of that while after the army, because after the army I retrained as a chef, because I'd always enjoyed cooking. My grandmother was a fantastic chef, or cook. Um, so I retrained. So while I was retraining, I started partying. So me and Eric split up, and basically I went to live with my blood brother, half brother Leighton, with his wife and kids. Slept on the sofa. Now, during this time, I'd met Kelly and was kind of like seeing her, if you know what I mean. I don't want to go into too many details. You can imagine what seeing is. So we were seeing each other, and it's quite kind of casual. But she was at university in Cardiff, so she'd come down either every other weekend or whatever, and I'd go up, and it worked. Um, at the time, I just finished all my European qualifications, and I was offered an engineering job back in England, because I was out in Spain. So I was offered a job back in top painting in Nortel, which was a huge electronics firm. Did a lot of internet stuff. Built stuff for exchanges and hubs and all sorts of stuff. So I went back into engineering, which was, of course, was my background from the army. So I did that, and the money was fantastic. Anyway, I'd I'd moved. Leighton and Jill, his wife, they split up while I was there because basically Leighton and me were out partying all of the time, like every day. Every day we'd be in the pub, we'd be in the manor drinking Hofmeister. Remember, Hofmeister was a pound a pint. We would be drinking like pints and pints and pints of Hofmeister, and then we'd go out clubbing. And he was married. I was technically married. I was seeing somebody new, and we would be going out. We were going girls, and, partying. There'd be a lot of coke, a lot of drinking, a lot of girls, and I went through that. Then Leighton and and Jill just had enough. Basically, I can't understand why, and walked out. So we were left to our own devices. Leighton kind of went off the rails. Which revived him running me over at one point, but that's another story for another day. So I've got that. So I managed to find a nice flat in Paynton. Sorry, in Torquay, 'cause that's where I was. I was in Torquay. I vowed never to live back in Paynton after Emma and what had happened in Paynton. Being barred from all the pubs to fight and being known as the town drunk and cokehead, and I was doing a lot of bass, a lot of speed, a lot of amphet, a lot of it in my 20s, and then that progressed obviously to cocaine and my cocaine addiction, which we're coming up to. So anyway, so I went back to North South after coming back from Spain. Found this nice flat in Torquay, settled at Nortel. Me and Kelly got quite serious very quickly. Her family basically adopted me. I got on so well with her mum and dad, and I mean her brothers and sister. I got on well. We had a laugh. Her eldest brother, actually, bizarrely enough, slept with my ex-wife Emma. Yeah, so that was which was good, but it's okay because I kind of got my own back. But that's another story. And I'm pleased, trust me, I'm not just tit for tat at all. Believe me, it was before he got with her. Anyway, so me and Kelly got serious. I'd already lost one house with Emma. I'd left it to I'd left the house to Josh. Um, so me and Kelly applied for another mortgage. We couldn't get the mortgage because she had a default on her bloody catalogue. So I ended up getting the full mortgage. I ended up doing that. And I thought, right, I've got to stay at an hotel. And, I've got a life now. I knew this was a girl that loved me. Family loved me. We were going to have children. We bought a house. We were going to work on it together. We had all these plans. But all the time, there was something not right in me about this relationship. Anyway, this relationship evolved. We about it must have been about 6 months before we got married. We were out one night, and I was working on the door in the soda fountain, which was underneath the Rainbow Hotel. And I was working on the door, and I was chatting to a couple of girls. Just as I was a doorman. Girls flirt around doorman. It's what they do. I think they're going to get in for it or getting free drinks, which usually they do if you've got a chance of getting something in return, if you know what I mean. But yeah, she actually glassed me. Told me to these two girls, walked up to me and put a glass into my face. I think it's this eye. They had to remove. They got me to hospital, telling me not to blink because my eye was just blood. It was blood. And they took 37 shards of glass out of my eye. Left me a beautiful little scar as well. One round here, so probably that it might be. I got another one from her. That should have been the alarm bells to me, but I forgave her. She said it was an accident. She slammed it on the table and it shattered. I mean, I know what happened. Everyone in the pub know what happened. Her brother, Paul, who was the one that slept with my wife, Emma, Her oldest brother, he used to do the karaoke and everything in the soda fountain at the weekends, and he saw it all. And he said to me before the wedding, "Are you sure?" Because Kelly's a bit feisty, and I should have read the signals. And I should have read the signals, and I just was blinded by love. I thought I loved her. I really did believe I loved her. I thought, that she was the right thing for me. Um, so we got married. When we got married, that's when I moved to the Hop. And that's when life changed dramatically for everyone. That was the turning point in my life. At this point, I was already drinking, drug dependent, partying at weekends. Fortunately, me and Kelly used to party. Anyway, me and Kelly got married, went on honeymoon, came back. I started at the Hop. Um, we, I got into my full swing. I'd taken over as sous chef. I was in charge quite a lot of the time. Marlene was kind of getting ready for moving on and doing the next thing, and I was obviously being um, um, groomed for to take over. Um, so anyway, this new barmaid started working called Katrina with a K, Cat with a K. That girl changed my life in so many ways, all for the good. She was not a negative effect on my life. I can't have a bad word to say about Katrina. Um, I think that the problem was that we both knew the relationship was dead a long time before it actually was. But anyway, I started partying when I got married and I worked at the Hop. I'd go to like drinks after work with everyone. Of course, Cat with a K would be there. All the other girls would be there, or all the bar stuff, all the kitchen stuff. All the couple of the managers, couple of the owners sometimes come out. It was a proper like 3, 4, 5 times a week. I'd be out partying, and then maybe 1 or 2 nights I'd go out with Kelly at the weekends. I'd have Kelly. I could be, she'd be off because she worked in a school at this point. She was trying to be a teacher at Cardiff, and then she came back and she got a job in Torquay. Um, um, yeah, so I started going out, and me and Kat with a K kind of started very flirty, very flirty to start with. I'm a terrible flirt anyway. As my darling cat, my cat now, um, will tell you I'm an awful flirt when it comes to girls. I love female attention. Probably a lot to do with mental health state and everything. I don't know, but yeah, I love it. I love being around women. Thrive in the environment. I don't find it bitchy or catty or anything. I love it. I absolutely love it. And especially now being in my wheelchair or my power chair, it's, kind of, you get that kind of like, oh, look at him, oh, poor thing, and I'm like, yeah, poor thing, come here, I'm gonna fucking, yeah, and then Kat will be like that, what are you gonna do? And I'll be like that, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Kat, probably can't even stand up. But anyway. So anyway, me and Kat started hanging out a lot. We'd go to a lot of nightclubs, or so it would be, Kelly thought, oh, he's partying after work, he's partying after work. Anyway, it came to one night where I went back to Kat's, still married at this time, and we started making out really, really sexy. This on the kitchen floor, and before you break into a song, she caught me naked on the dancing on the bathroom floor. No, it wasn't the kitchen floor. Anyway, it didn't. It got quite heated. I said, "God, right, I've got to go." It was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. How can I explain? I'm getting back at 4 o'clock in the morning. But this was what it was. It wasn't about Kelly anymore. I was scared of Kelly. Something wasn't right with Kelly. But she took so much from me. I literally treated her like shit. And maybe I deserved everything that happened when it came to that relationship, losing the house, everything. Maybe I deserved that because I was a shit to her. I really was a shit to her, for what I did to her, leaving her for someone else. But anyway, a couple of days after this night had happened, Kelly had gone to work in the morning, and Kat came to the house and crawled into bed with me, and we had a bit of a cuddle. And I said, right, I'm going to split up with Kelly. So me, I moved into the hot. Me and Kelly were still together. We were going out for dinner dates, and our parents were trying to sort it out. And anyway, uh, I forgot to mention it. The point I moved to the hot was that I'd woken up in the night and she was sat astride me with a carving knife. I've never touched or hit a woman in my life, but I had to restrain her to get the knife off her. So I did smash her arm to get the knife off her on the on the mattress to get the knife away. Anyway, so we were trying that. Anyway, I was kind of seeing Cat with a K at the same time as Kelly. I wasn't sure where I was going to go, what I was going to do. I didn't know which one was best for me, which wasn't. We still hadn't had any kind of sex. Me and Cat with a K. Nothing sexual had happened. Bloody close to it, but never had. And then me and Cat with a K were coming out with our friends to a bar, one of our barmaids. And one of the kitchen guys. We were four of us walking out, and Kelly and our mum drove down the ramp as I was walking on the path side of the ramp, and they just stared at us. That was it. That's when she started divorce, and she was going to name her and blah. To stop Kelly naming Katrina in the divorce, I had to sign the house over. Um, we, she sold it for 287,000. I got 12,500 payoff when I walked away from that marriage. Um, with that money, I got myself. I was at the Hop, so I was working at the Hop. But at this point, I was hooked on cocaine. I was doing a lot of cocaine. About £500 a week. That's when I had to start turning to selling it on my habit. Now, I was head chef at this point. I was doing cocaine in the morning. I was doing 2, 3 lines in the morning just to get through service. I'd go into the stores and I'd like be having a booster, and I was doing a lot of money, so I had to start selling. I didn't have to, but I did because I couldn't afford it. I was on a good wage, and I didn't have any rent to pay. I didn't have any bills going up on my mobile phone. Um, so I started selling coke. And first of all, it was like just to make some stuff, and it just grew and grew and grew, and I just became a bit larger than life, the old image, which I'd had in painting also in my sort of amphet speed days, where I was kind of like this bit of a psycho, bit of a nutcase, really nice, lovely guy, but don't piss him off, that kind of thing. Always up for covering your back. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, and I'm certainly not proud of it. But I was a bit of a boy. It's just, it's as simple as that. I was scraps. I used to buy. It didn't bother me. Um, so anyway, me and Kat sort of trundled on, and we'd spend a lot of time going down because we love going to Nuki. That was our thing. Now I do actually want to take Kat to Nuki. Not because it have any memories whatsoever with Cat with a K, but because I spent a lot of time with the lads down there and a lot of time surfing when I was fit. Those of you who don't know, I actually is very, very physical. So when I was in the army, I used to box, hence the nose. I used to play rugby. I was prop, loose head. Number one. Um, and I surfed as well. Surfing I discovered on my stag weekend. Actually, Tanuki went to Tanuki when for Kelly's when I got married to Kelly. So my second marriage. When I got married to Kelly, we went to me and the lads. A load of us went to Tanuki. It was the best weekend I ever didn't remember. It was amazing. It had everything. It had girls. It had fights. It had everything. It had trouble. It had strife. It was brilliant. Of it, yeah, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Um, so I discovered surfing, and I kind of was all right at it. So I ended up with a couple of custom boards. I had a nice 10-foot bear, and I had a minimal, 8-foot minimal. Both customs. Bear was custom, absolutely beautiful. Because my MS was diagnosed, and I'm unable to surf. I was unable to surf. Wasn't able to play rugby. I couldn't box. Couldn't fight. Couldn't do anything. This person that I'd become, and this I don't want to say hard man, but I could look after myself. Um, I wouldn't back down in a fight. I'd always have somebody's back if they were getting in trouble. That all went with the MS. That power to be able to protect me and others. That's what I scared about with Cat. That I wouldn't Cat now. That I won't. If we got into, I mean, Cat can look after her bloody self, right? She's a Scots girl. She knows what she's doing. You ain't gonna take no shit from no one. She'll like smack someone out if she has to, and I know she would do it over me as well. But I'm worried that there is going to be some twats out there, that are going to take the piss because I'm in a wheelchair, shouting, "Hey, hey, hey, Andy, you right, Andy?" That I know I'm expecting it coming, because that's the mentality of people because they think that's funny. Because I was that person when I was partying all the time and on the coke and drinking. I didn't care. I take the piss out of everyone. One bloke, one leg, I'd be like, "Hey, where's your parrot, mate? Your patch?" You don't say that things. You don't. That's not right. But that's what I grew up watching and stuff. Yeah, I watch now one of the channels on TV is all 80s stuff, and I watch it back now and I think, my God, this is so homophobic. It's racist. It's so many different things. It's horrific. Um, and that's where I grew up, and that was the mentality that I was in when I was in my 20s and 30s. That I pretty much was an integral part, if not the head of a lot of things. Especially with the lads, they did look to me to lead. I mean, I don't know whether that's from my old army days, making corporal. I mean, I could have been a sergeant if it wasn't for Northern Ireland. Um, the- to yeah, it's yeah. It becomes a bit too much for me sometimes to contemplate everything that's been taken from me by MS and by my leg, by breaking my leg. I think about what I was like, playing so fit, being able to play rugby on a Saturday, and then like go surfing all day Sunday. That was my ideal weekend, and get the boxing on Saturday night, and on Pot Sky or something. That would be my ultimate weekend. And Katrina with the K facilitated that weekend. She would happily go with that. But unfortunately, with Cat with a K, we moved in with her mum downstairs, a little granny flat underneath in the basement. And it was lovely, lovely little flat. We had use of the garden, so we had used to have barbecues all the time. So, of course, it was me. So, you know what I'm like, guys. You know the personality that I am, or certainly probably the personality that I'm coming across as. Um, so I had a lot of friends. Like I said, lots and lots of friends. My first stag weekend, Kelly, 65 lads went out in Payton. 65 of us, all about me. We got barred from 3 pubs on that night. I got barred from 4 pubs after that. When me and Emma were getting divorced, and I was getting in fights. So I got. This is bizarre. I got barred from Henry's, which was owned by the guy who owned Hop and Grapes, is where I was working. So yeah, worked that one out. And anyway, I got barred from Talk of the Town for spraying. We had aerosol, squirty cream, where you could get the ones that are dog poo, and we were just leaving big dog poos all over the carpets around the restaurant. This is before it became a Wetherspoon. So we got barred from there. I got naked at the spinning wheel. I broke out of handcuffs. I got that frustrated. I physically broke out. That's how strong I was. Broke out of handcuffs. I don't think they weren't like proper police ones, but they were decent ones. but I just snapped them. Um, yeah, that was a wild night. Um, but anyway, that goes. That's where that party style, like, that's what I was doing. I was doing a lot of Amphit, a hell of a lot of Amphit, a lot of speed, a lot of bass. Um, and that progressed onto cocaine when, so kind of like with Kelly, I was kind of doing it. Um, and then when I went to move it to Hob, that's when it started. When I was selling, that's when I was fighting. I was going out, looking for money, people who owed me money. Me and a couple of mates go around, and if they haven't got the money, then to give them a reminder that it needs to get paid. I'm not certainly not proud of that. Certainly not boasting about it. I didn't want to be that man. Because that reputation comes back to haunt you when you're 52, you're stuck in a powered wheelchair, and you've got MS stage 3. You know, that's why I'm so glad I'm out the bay. If I had my wheelchair, well, I wouldn't have had my wheelchair in the bay because the wheelchair thing in Torbay wouldn't issue me with a power chair. Since I moved to Plymouth, they're the only ones that have actually got it done and got it coming to me. So my biggest fear was being mobile, but not being able to defend myself, and still having that reputation. People always knew my name. You ask anybody who's anybody in Torquay Paint and even Brixton, probably, they'll either know part of the family that I was involved in, that I had relationships with, whatever, or me myself. Yeah. So me and Kat Killer K kind of like, after about, I'd say about 3.5, 4 years, we kind of like stopped, sex regularly, and we were like best mates. We really were like best mates. We used to love going down to party. We just partied all the time. I did a lot of drugs. I was doing a lot of coke. Kat found out about it, and kind of said, give it up, or I just kept doing it. All I was interested in was, parties and the girls. I was just a twat. And then me and Kat split up just before my 40th. I was 39. It was my 39th birthday at Christmas, and we split up. That's when we split up at Christmas. I'd gone Christmas Day for dinner, and I'd said, right, it's got to finish. So that was the end of our relationship. I kind of spent some time on my own. That's when I really started drinking and fell apart. Splitting up with Kat, that's what hit me the bottle the most. I was already having a major bad drink problem at that point and hiding bottles. But finishing with her tipped me over the edge. That nearly killed me. Splitting up with Katrina nearly killed me. It's just like I know now with my Katrina. If God forbid anything ever happened that we split up or we couldn't be together, I wouldn't want to be here, guys. There would be no point. I fight every day not to drink. I fight every day not to do drugs. Whatever drugs, not all of them. But I'm talking about the hard stuff, the stuff that you get addicted to, the stuff's at 50 quid a bag, the premiums at 50 quid a bag, That's the stuff I've got to stay away from. I've got to stay away from that thing that's, £3.49 on happy hour. I've got to stay away from that. I know I have, because I know I have a massive addictive personality. I am an alcoholic, and I am a recovering drug addict. It's as simple as that, guys. There's no sugarcoating it or bullshit in it. That's what I am. Every day is a battle, but every day I fight, and I get up in the morning, and if I've got enough about me to get through the day, then that's a bloody bonus as far as I'm concerned. A bloody bonus. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a bit. That's quite a decent one today. Thanks everyone for listening. I hope this video goes well. Speak to you all soon. Take care. Thanks very much. Bye bye now.